So hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, Adna Technologies. So welcome back to our HTML full course series. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about HTML tables. So in a former video, we talked about HTML comments and favicon. I explained that I told you that comments are mainly used for program documentation and you don't take part in program execution. Then I told you that favorite icon or favicon is the website icon that is being displayed alongside the page title in the tab of a browser. So I went further to tell you that comments can be inline or it can appear anywhere in documents. So I went further to tell you how you can add a favicon in your website and the tag or syntax or add a favicon in your website. So in today's video, we'll be learning about HTML tables. So table in HTML or table in programming is mainly used to store what? Record. They are used to display record. Let's say maybe you have students in a class that you wish to display record of the student. You display the record in tables. Maybe the record might come in this way: name, the subject the student did, and the score. So with the help of table, you can be able to display record. So let's proceed with what we have. So I said that HTML tables just allow the web developers to arrange data into rows and columns, and that's just the main thing about HTML tables. It allows you to arrange your data into rows and columns. You can just see an example here. This is a record, a data of a company staff. Company staffs. You see the company, you see the contacts, you see the country of the person. So it helps you to arrange data into rows and columns. And those data now, so when those data are being arranged in the rows and columns, it is being seen as a record. Okay, that means that different set of record joined together makes a file, whereas different set of data joined together makes a record. So that's just how the thing works. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to define a HTML table. I said that the table in HTML consists of table cells inside rows and columns. So it consists of table cells inside rows and columns. So example is this. So let's see how our basic HTML table works. So if we want to declare a table in HTML, there is one thing you must always do. You must first of all we come to our Visual Studio Code. So every code we'll be writing will be inside the body word, in between the body opening tag and the closing tag. Okay, so if you want to write a HTML code for a table, you must always start with declaring the table, that's defining the table tag, and the table tag has a opening and closing tag, or a start and end tag. So you type table. So that's table. So there is another thing you need to do. There is another thing we need to do. We need to call on the table row. You need to call on the table row. So after calling on the table row, you now call on the table data. Okay? Table row tr, specify with tr, and also it has closing tag. Okay? So after calling the tr, you now specify the table data. So on that particular row, what are the data that are there? On that particular row, what are the data that are there? Let's say that particular row is just the data that will be there is just name, maybe phone number. So let's execute this code and see, and just copy parts. Okay, so I paste on my web browser. So that's just how it will look like. Okay, that's how it will look like, because it's row. Like they said, that table is HTML table consists of data stored in rows and columns. So you first of all capture the table row. Okay, so the next thing you will do there is, so you ask yourself, for each of the row, which record am I supposed to put there? So for each of the row, you first of all put the record for the first item that appeared on the first row, first data in the row, and second, and the other items or the second data, table data in the row. So you do that respectively. For example, you have three names with phone number. Let's say TD, the first record. Remember to use TR. Always remember to invite your word table row. So you can say TR. Okay. Let's say the first table data is John Deere. Okay. Then the next table data is maybe Kings. Let's say Kings Miles. Okay. Then the top table data for the data in what name is maybe George Owens. Okay. So let's save and try to run. Remember to go back to your browser, web browser, and refresh since it's maintaining the same word length. So if this works like this, you can see it's not arranged, right? It's not arranged. Okay. So there is something that we need to do. You can see it's not arranged. So there is something we need to do. Okay. There is something we need to do to be able to arrange this file. You don't just write this. There is something you need to do to be able to arrange this file. So what are we going to do? We need to name this first one the table heading, the TH. Okay. Rename it to TH to be your table words heading, so that the words text editor and also the browser we understand. Okay, the browser will understand, okay, this particular HTML tag you're using it to structure a table. And as you're structuring the table, the TH will be specifying the word table heading. Okay, so try to refresh to see how it looks. So you can see that it's different now. Okay, so there is something else you are going to do. So there is something else you are going to do. So let's give data for the second one. You can say that John Joe phone number maybe 090. Then King's Miles is 080. George is maybe 070. Okay. So you save. You try to refresh. So if you check this thing properly, you now see still yet it is not well what's arranged. Okay, it is not well arranged. So you go back to your code. So to be able to do some adjustment on this table to get what we need, the thing we are going to do is we have to do what? To be creating the complete what record for each person. So for example, as we have John Joe, and the record of John Doe is the name and phone number. So you make John Doe, the name and phone number appears. Then the next person, the name and phone number. So that's how it goes respectively. So let's try it out. So I will delete all this and say John Doe. Let's say that TG 0 and 0. Okay. So the next person is Kings Mars. TG Kings Mars. Okay. TD is 0 is 0. So the next person here is TR. Remember your table row. Then TD is your table data. That's the data that appeared in the table cell is the table data. So the next thing is George Owen. You capture his name. The next thing you capture is the phone number. TD 081. So you see. So let's see how it looks like now. Go back to our browser and refresh. So wow, it looks perfectly now, right? So you can see John Doe phone number 090, King's my phone number 080, and John Owen is 081. So that's just the thing there. So let's proceed with the next thing we have. So the next thing you can see is the table cell. So that each table cell is defined by what? The TD tag. And this TD tag has an opening and what? A closing tag. And the TD stands for what? Table data. Like I said, everything between the TD opening tag and the TD closing tag are the contents of the what? Table cell. So that's just the thing like we did here. You can see that anything that goes in between from this TD opening tag and the TD closing tag is the what? Content of the what? Table cell. So that's just how it works. Okay. So the next thing we have there is the table row. So each table row starts with the TR tag. So it has a what? A opening TR tag and a closing what? TR tag. And TR stands for what? Table row, like we have been doing, and I've always been showing you, like anything that goes between the TR tag and the TR ending is the what? The table. It appears on the table word row. And this just like where you have the concept we have learned before, the nested HTML elements. You can see that elements appears inside what? Other element. So that's just how it works. So the next thing we have is the table header. Sometimes you want your cell to be the table header cell. In those cases, use the TH tag instead of the TD tag. So TH tag stands for what? Table header. Like we have been saying, that's what I used here to specify and make it different from the other ones. So that's just the thing. Okay. So by default, the text in TH elements are bold and centered, and that's just the thing. But you can still change that with CSS. Okay. We can change that with what? CSS. With the help of CSS, we can be able to do what? Changes. So let's look at some of the HTML table tag. So remember, this is our HTML table part 1. So in the next tutorial, you'll be expecting the part 2 of it. So let's look at the HTML table tag. We have the table tag. It defines the word table. The T-head defines a header cell in a table. The TR defines a row in a table. The TD defines a cell in a table. The caption defines a table caption. The core group specifies a group of one or more columns in a table for formatting. Okay, so the next thing we have there is the core specifies column properties for each column within a column group element. The T-head groups the head content in a table. It groups the header content in the table. The T-body groups the body content in the table, and the T-foot groups the footer content in the word table. So that's just the thing. So let's look at table border. Okay, so HTML table can have borders of different styles and shapes. That's just the thing. So how do we add this border? We use the CSS property to add border on table. th and what the td elements. Okay, so how do we do that? With the help of the CSS property, you can be able to do that, but you just need to specify each of the what selectors. Yeah, so let's add border to our table. I'll go and add border to my table. Let's see. On top of it, I can say style. Okay, using the word style tag, like I said before, you can see that a table, okay, comma, capture th, comma, capture td. Okay, then I'll now see that border maybe 1 pixels solid black. Right. So let's refresh to see what we get. Wow, wow, wow. So you can see that we have already added border to a table, and it has made it to look more cool and okay. Okay, so we have what we call the collapse border. To avoid having double borders like in the example above, set the CSS border collapse property to collapse. Okay, so border collapse property will be collapse. This will make the word borders collapse into a single border. So let's see how that works. We come here and add a kind of border collapse. So make the property to be collapse. Okay, so you save. So let's refresh and see the output we get. Wow, I see that the two border line has been removed and turned to single border line. Okay, so that's how the collapse word property works. So this is in case you want to add word star. Maybe you want to add background color to the border table. You can do that using the word CSS property. Okay, where you make the background, add the background color, the property of the background color, then you add value to it, any color of your choice. So rounded table is now where you'll be using what your border radius to make the edges of the words borders rounded to be curved. Okay, so that's just the thing. So let's just leave this for now. We'll be looking more on this on our CSS. Okay, so in the next session we'll be looking at the HTML table and sizes, and next video part 2 we'll be looking at the what HTML tables, HTML table sizes. Okay, so thank you so much for this video. So if you find this content useful, please do like, comment, subscribe, and remember to share the video with your families and friends. Thank you so much. So see you next time. Always remember to visit